So this is the week before spring break, the week of midterms. They have to post all of their assignments that they've done thus far this semester, and that's how they're gonna get their midterm grade. Everybody's panicking right now because many of them haven't done it or waited to the last minute. The internet hasn't been working well. So we get to see how this turns out. It's gonna be interesting to see what their word is today. Dr. Kendrick in the building. The champ is here. Christian, how are you, sir? Mr. Wingo, Ms. Hoffman. Jakara Wright, how are you? Zana Armstrong, did you get your items to me? Yeah. Michelle Harris, are you well? And what's that boy name? Mr. Problem Child Massey. Massey, are you good to go, sir? Yeah. This is the week before spring break, so you get to do a lot of work tonight. I want you to be at a spot where you like, not only does this dude tell us what we need to do, but he can do it too. Because a lot of teachers can't turn their camera on. I want you to be like, look, man, this dude know his stuff, and I'm riding with him. So we're gonna try something different today. We're gonna shoot something again today, but for the late bird, Chelsea, who always wants to talk about sports, we're talking about sports today. She thinks she knows so much about sports, she's gonna show us just how good she is on sports today. Right, Chelsea?
We doing March Madness?
You know it.
March Madness, one of the happiest times in my life with sports. This was a good story. One thing that was bad was when I was interviewing some of the subjects, the wind interfered with it. So yeah, that definitely did send me back. And also going to Hertz Gym, the lighting saturation was horrible. So that was also a state of adversity that I had to face during this project. But other than that, everything was good. My stand-up could have been better, but it was pretty average.
My first instinct was to find my teammates to see if they were willing to talk to me, and they were. Chelsea was my partner for this assignment again. We did interviews outside, and it was an issue with the wind interfering. I had my mic and I hooked it up to my phone, but you could still hear the wind brush up against the mic. So that was a little issue, but that was the day where I was really heated because we walked across campus to get some more shots of the basketball court in Hertz Gymnasium. And I tried to walk in, Chelsea and I, we were walking alongside each other, and I believe it was time for the girls to have pickup in the gym. So they had an issue with letting me go in and take a picture or a video of the basketball hoop. I wasn't trying to, play ball. I wasn't trying to get videos of them playing basketball. I really wanted a video of the hoop, and they wouldn't let me do it. The lady at the front desk, she gave me a hard time talking about, do you have my ID? I showed her my ID, then she was like, oh, well, I can't let you in.
Okay, so let me tell you about March Madness. So that day, that was before spring break, and I was just over school. I was ready to go on vacation, but I still did it. I was like, hey, let's go to Hertz. See, this is my turning point right here. So what happened was everybody left, and it was just me and Shard in the gym. So I asked the little man on the scoreboard, I said, hey, can you make the clock count down so it can make that noise so I can like put that as, my establishing shot? And he did it. So I was like, oh, that's a little smart, Sharice. You're thinking on your feet. I had a cold that day, so my voice really wasn't sounding good. So my voiceovers was like a little rough, but I felt like definitely with the March Madness story, I was starting to improve. I think I was thinking differently, and I think that was the best stand-up I shot. I shot my stand-up in the academic quad, and I was standing in front of Holmes Hall, so you was able to see all of Holmes Hall in the background. So I struggled with stand-ups a lot this semester, so I feel like that was definitely my best stand-up.
March Madness was fun. As we were walking across the bridge, Zana, I think this was shade, I'm not sure, but she was throwing shade to Sean. I think he had some kind of pants on, and she said something. I forgot what she said, but Sean was upset. He didn't like it, but it was funny, so it made my day. When I was walking to the gym, the lady asked, do I have my bag card? So in my mind, I said, lady, will I be in front of your face if I didn't go here? So, but Sharice talked the lady into letting me inside the gym. I had to leave my book bag out there with her, So I'm not sure, but I was in there, I got what I needed and got out of there.
I hated that story. I wanted to give up. Jakara worked with me, so she knows. Like, I was like, screw this, I'm not doing it. No one wanted to talk about it. I'm like, y'all are men. And that's mostly who I was asking, because most guys, they watch basketball. So I was mostly asking guys in the canteen and stuff, and they were just like, no, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Or I don't really have a team. I'm just kind of watching it for fun. I'm like, well, you can say that, but people were just really weird about it. But Jakara ended up helping me out, and I ended up getting an interview with a faculty member. So in conclusion, it ended up well, but the process was not fun. I hated it.
March Madness was pretty easy because I love watching sports. I think the problem was that me and Zaina had the same coat on in our stand-up. So Dr. Kendrick didn't like that. But other than that, I think that went pretty easy. I also think that I helped Zaina because she was like a mess and couldn't get 2 interviews. So I was just like finding people. And then I think we ran into like a football coach that gave her like a really good interview. So she used that. But overall, it was pretty good.
Kendrick didn't tell me about white light, and I feel like I should blame that on Kendrick. But like, it was some aspects of the video that came out green because we were in the gym, and it was like, I don't know, the color looked kind of dirty. I just wasn't feeling it. And before, when I walked in to do the assignment, the ladies at the door, they was older and it was rough and it was mean. Like, I don't know what was up with them, but they really ain't want nobody in that gym. They was bugging. But that sound was pretty cool.
This is awesome. It's what?
Damn, Daniel. They look like a whole set of like
Shut up.
brothers and sisters.
Shut up.
So he got time to joke, folks, but his story's not done yet.
Oh,
You interviewed 3 people. Adrian?
2. Need one
Okay,
more.
so your time lapse is not gonna look good like that. I see what you're
I
doing.
know.
All right,
This
so-
is my second one.
So here's a question. How do you make that building relevant to your story?
It's not relevant. I want to get this one really.
So why don't you get this one? You gonna get Dr. Kendrick in the shot like this? You have to look at the story, and based on how you wrote the story will determine what your stand-up or your sig out looks like. So where you gonna shoot your sig then? I mean, you got people walking around you. Do you shoot your sig like where you're like right here standing up? Do you do it on the steps over here? Do you have somebody stand at the steps and you're down here and they're shooting with all of this behind you?
That's what I'm thinking.
And you gotta look at where the light is. Look at